This week on Moms Like Us, Bachelor Nation's Lauren Bushnell opened up to us about postpartum anxiety.
But yeah, you just love them so much and you want to do everything to protect them.
Then Katy Perry dishes on why being a pop star is just like being a mom.
There's vomit on the floor. And your boobs are always out.
Plus, Gwyneth Paltrow opens up about her scary birth experience with daughter Apple.
Thank God there was an Instagram when I had babies, because now it's like, if I see someone, I just gave birth 2 weeks ago and I have a completely washboard stomach, and I'm like, wow, that's not what I,
We've got that plus so much more on today's Moms Like Us. Hey everyone, Christina Garibaldi here with Brianne Mance from Stroller in the City, and welcome to Moms Like Us, and welcome to Halloween week.
Yes, I know. It's getting spooky in our house and the kids are getting so excited, getting ready.
So excited.
How about you? Do you have the kids' costumes ready? Everything?
We do. We actually have my daughter's little preschool parade, little trunk or treat. So she's going to be Cinderella. She's very excited, I think. And then Lucas is going to be a little mouse. So it should be fun. It should be a lot of fun. How about you? How about your kids?
Super cute. Yeah, the girls are all set. My daughter, middle one is going to be a little disco hippie girl.
Fun.
Super cute. My youngest is going to be a witch. And then my son is going to dress up as someone from Squid Games.
Oh, very cool.
That's what you do when you're 13.
I feel like that's going to be the costume of the year, probably.
I think so. I think so. Although his is like back ordered. So I had to like order a couple of like other things to like kind of fill it in. We have the mask, but the outfit didn't come yet. So I might have to like go out and find something that's similar.
Well, you're creative, so I'm sure you will make it work.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
I can't wait to see pictures next week. It's going to be great.
I know.
All right. Well, we got a lot of mom and dad news to get to. So let's kick it off with Gwyneth Paltrow. So 17 years after she became a mom, she is describing her daughter Apple's harrowing birth. She was on Dak Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast this week. So take a listen.
My daughter was an emergency. It was crazy. We almost died. It was like not good. Anyway, it's like there's a big scar across your body and you're like, oh, wow, like that didn't used to be there. And it's not that it's bad or you want to judge it, but you're just like, oh, my God. Thank God there was an Instagram when I had babies, because now it's like, if I see someone, I just gave birth 2 weeks ago and I have a completely washboard stomach, and I'm like, wow, that's not what I, And great, more power to the lady with the wash, but it's just like, that is totally the exception. And then now we're being fed all these other images of like what we're supposed to look like all the time. Babies, no babies, whatever.
All right. So Gwyneth welcomed her baby girl in 2004 via C-section. And she also gave birth to her son, Moses, who is 15, that same way 2 years later. In May, she told W Magazine about the incredible rush of love she felt after Apple's arrival. She said, I said to my mother, Blythe Danner, almost in shock, do you love me this much? The Emmy winner said that at the time, it reframed completely how I saw motherhood. It's so crazy because I feel like you hear these, really, really intense, scary delivery experiences, and then others are so tame. So no delivery experience is the same.
No, I mean, even with all three of my kids, like my middle delivery was awful. Like her heart rate stopped. It was emergency C-section. I mean, it was crazy, and that was the birth that I was like, I have a doula. I'm prepared. I'm like super fit this pregnancy, and you never know what's going to happen.
Never know. Yeah, it's scary, but so worth it. But it's definitely a scary situation, especially I guess, but if you're not expecting to go in with a C-section either, and like you had this mindset, I'm going to have like this perfect birth, and if everything's going to be beautiful, and then some scary stuff can happen.
Yeah. I think we have to be prepared for that, because I feel like I wasn't really prepared for that. Like, what if plan, A doesn't work? What happens with plan B? I'm just shocked that Gwyneth is opening up about this like 17 years later. Like, first of all, I can't even believe she has a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old, which is insane.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like we were like just talking about like how unique Apple was for a name like yesterday, and now she's 17 years old. It's insane. Time flies. It really does. It's crazy.
So Rebel Wilson opened up this week about her fertility journey played a role in her weight loss. So she told Sunrise, I was going through a fertility journey and it was better if I was healthy and wanted to be healthier anyway. I've struggled a lot with emotional eating, and last year through the huge transformation, lost about 35 kilos, I think. The interview came nearly after 1 year after the actress opened up about freezing her eggs. At the time, she said, I knew that I wasn't going to be maybe working that much this this year amid the coronavirus pandemic, I knew I was going to have a bit more time. I was also freezing my eggs because, as all good career women out there should note, that if that's something that interests you, it's pretty good time to do it. I was thinking about fertility and having good quality eggs in the bank. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get healthy. I get it. I get it.
No, totally. Yeah. It's good that she was proactive. She recognized that, if I want to be healthy or if I want to, potentially have a baby one day, maybe I need to lose the weight, and then that would help out with my fertility. I think that, and it's nice that she's opening up about it too. And I think it's great. And I think it's, it just shows that she wants to be healthy and have a family in the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's good that more and more women are opening up about this, because I feel like, a couple of years ago, even like, it's like a secret, like, women are like, they want to have kids, but they're not ready yet. And, I think if you, do want to have that and you're at a certain age, having good quality eggs is really important,
Totally. And she looks fantastic too. So good for her. She looks amazing. All right. Moving on to Sheryl Crow, who previously told Redbook that her split with Lance Armstrong inspired her to adopt her son Wyatt back in 2007. She said, I started doing an adoption home study. The idea was if the opportunity came, I would be ready. She later adopted another son, Levi James, in 2010. And she recently told Hoda Kotb that she got a lot of things out of her system before adopting her kids. She says, there wasn't anything that I felt like I was missing. If I stayed home and something was going on, I just didn't feel like I was missing anything, that I wanted to be anywhere else. And that's a gift. I love that. Do you feel like you had to get stuff out of your system before you had kids?
I mean, I don't know. I think about it now, like, I went to clubs, I came home late. Like, I obviously don't do any of that stuff now. And I kind of don't miss it anymore either,
I totally agree with you. Yeah. So, I definitely don't miss the staying out till like 2 a.m. Now I just get up at 2 a.m. to feed a baby. It's totally different. So I still am staying awake to that time. But yeah, no, I just don't feel like, I feel like that's just a phase of my life. That's, that chapter is closed and it's a new chapter now. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything.
I don't either. And it's a good feeling to have, right?
Yeah,
like
totally. I definitely like traveled a little bit more before I had kids and things like that. So, I kind of got that a little bit out of the way, but doesn't mean I can't do it again in a couple of years when they're a little older.
Yes. Oh my God. And do it with kids. Like I was just to a friend and she just took her 4 kids to Italy, and like you can do that, Yeah,
you make a whole new memories. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so our say moment of the week goes to Katy Perry, who posted a video of a shirtless Orlando Bloom painting daisies on their daughter's wall in an Instagram video. Perry called Bloom Dad of the Year. I mean, I can't even take this.
I can't even take it.
It's the cutest thing ever. I mean, are you shocked that they didn't hire painters?
A little bit. I mean, maybe the painter will come back in and touch it up, but I don't know. They're both creative people, so I guess they can both do this. And I mean, I imagine waking up to Orlando Bloom every day.
No. Oh my God. I die. I died over this whole thing. It's like the cutest thing.
It really
is. She also
Mm-hmm.
opened up about motherhood while guest hosting the Ellen DeGeneres show this week. So take a look at this.
Now that I'm a mom, my life is actually kind of totally different. And yet I realized it's kind of similar to being a pop star. You're up all night, usually holding a bottle of some kind. There's vomit on the floor, and your boobs are always out.
I mean,
kind of true. I mean, I'm not a pop star, so I don't really know how that works, but I mean, she is describing motherhood pretty well.
Yeah, there you go. I love that. So
I love that. That is really funny. She always keeps it real, which I really appreciate. I love
Absolutely.
it. In our mom chat of the week, we sat down with Lauren Bushnell, who opened up about postpartum anxiety. Take a look. I mean, what surprised you the most about postpartum that you weren't expecting? Because nobody prepares you for that.
No one. I feel like you're so focused on the delivery and the actual birth and just getting through pregnancy. And I didn't really think about the postpartum aspect at all. And there's the whole healing for the first 6 weeks. That was a whole thing. And I didn't really understand what postpartum anxiety fully was, or, postpartum that can lean like depression and how real those things are. I mean, you're going through so many changes just in life in general, bringing this human into your home and trying to figure that whole thing out. And then also on a physical level, you're going through all these hormonal changes. So for me, I've struggled with postpartum anxiety and just constantly feeling, like not really myself. So I've sought the help of friends, and I've kind of taken steps to help address that. And I'm feeling a lot better now. But yeah, it's a very real thing, and it's a struggle. And it's something that, you don't really know what you're going to face because everyone's so different. But I'm very thankful that it is a conversation that's now, happening in a public way. I feel like it made me at least feel far less alone, or that something was wrong with me or something. I didn't feel that way at all.
No, totally. And I feel like a lot of people, you hear about postpartum depression a lot, but I don't feel like you hear a lot about postpartum anxiety. It's definitely a real thing. I know a good friend of mine, she went through the same thing, and she's like, I can't even let my kids touch like a counter because like the germs are freaking me out. She's like, I get like anxiety about something like that. Is that kind of like where your headspace was at?
Yes. I think for us all, the last 2 years has been just weird and crazy, and feeling like sometimes we're in this state of chaos and not knowing what, the next day is going to look like. And especially from a health perspective, obviously. And yeah, you have this little tiny human that seems so fragile. And so, yeah, I think it's a combination of all of the above. And I tend to, by nature, be more of a worrier. So I'm not surprised that this is where I'm at. But yeah, you just love them so much and you want to do everything to protect them. But sometimes it can, get to the point where it's an unhealthy worry. And that's kind of where I was at. So I'm thankful that I'm taking the steps to, just learn to trust that he's going to be okay, and lean on Chris and lean on the support system that I have, and I'm feeling a lot better. So, but yeah, it's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight. And I'm sure with baby number 2, I'll be like, oh, they're fine.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this before. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about postpartum anxiety as much as postpartum depression, but it's definitely a real thing. And it can mess with you a little bit. And Lauren said, she's now taking all the proper steps to kind of figure out how to deal with it. But she said that it kind of got the best of her at times.
Absolutely. I never had anxiety ever, ever, ever. I now have anxiety now being a mom, because now I think about things that could have like happened. Like you envision things that like, oh my God, well, what if this happens, and all those things that you probably didn't think about before your children. So,
right.
Yeah.
It's so true. You think of like sometimes like worst case scenarios about things. I'm like, you kind of can drive yourself a little crazy sometimes, and it's a scary thing, and it's a very real things too. And there's still so many things that make me anxious. Just like even if Gianna's running too fast, I'm like, oh my God, she's going to trip and fall on her face, and like things like that.
Like I see blood. Yeah.
Things.
I know. Like even if like they fell and like all of a sudden they wake up, they get up and I'm like, oh my God, is there blood? Is there like, did they cut themselves? Do they need stitches? Like constantly, I'm constantly doing that all the time.
Yeah, no, Gianna fell down my parents' patio steps over the summer. It was like 3 steps and she fell like right on her face because she couldn't, and like, I couldn't even look at it. I'm like, oh my God, don't just tell me how bad it is. I can't even look. It was so bad, but like usually it looks worse than it is.
Totally. The anxiety is there. It is real.
It really is. Totally.
So our moms and dads getting real moment goes to new dad, KJ Appa. 1 month after Clara Barry gave birth to their baby boy, Appa drank her breast milk while out to eat. He captioned the post, "My wife is a milk machine and I love it." The model commented on the social media upload, "Happy to feed my family." It's so crazy.
It is.
The new dad unscrewed the lid of the baby bottle in the footage, pouring it into his mug after taking a drink and pressing the warm cup to his forehead. The singer laughed with Barry. I mean, he's not the first to do this. He's not the first to do this. And we've talked about it.
We have
breast milk before, and both of us have.
Yes.
But we haven't poured it into a mug.
No, I haven't ever poured it into a mug. And I would be kind of mad that my husband was taking away that breast milk that I like. That would make me mad. Be like, I worked hard for that. That's not for you.
The liquid gold. You cannot take it.
Cannot take it, baby. But I guess he enjoys it. I mean, it's good. If it's good for the baby, I'm sure it's good for him. But yeah, that would drive me crazy. I'd be like, oh, that's for the baby, not for you.
Yes. Oh my God. So funny.
So funny. All right. Well, this week's clapback goes to Alexa Pena Vega after severing her. This is so scary. After severing her son Kingston's finger in a bathroom door, This month, the Spy Kids star denied slamming the door in a fit of rage. She told Instagram followers, "I simply closed the door. That is literally what happened. I know I will never be able to please everyone, and people will be ugly to be ugly. And for those people, all I can do is pray for them." I can't imagine anything more horrifying than, well, I mean, I can, but this is pretty bad.
I know. I can't even imagine. It's so scary. My daughter closed her finger in a dance studio, and I had to go and I had to take her for x-rays and this whole thing. She like couldn't move it. She was screaming. I mean, the cry that happened, it was like a big, heavy door.
Ugh.
And yeah, it was awful. I mean, luckily she's okay. She didn't break it, but I thought for a second, like, oh crap, like her finger's gone. It's so scary.
It's so scary. I know. Even this morning we have our closet door, and she had like her finger like almost in the hinge, and I like ran over. I'm like, oh my God, do not close the door, because oh God, nothing hurts more than closing your fingers on a door. And it's crazy that people are like saying that she did this in a fit of rage, and that's why because I guess they were saying that the force in order to sever a finger had to be pretty hard, but she showed it on Instagram, and she said it was just a really heavy door, and it's just the way that his finger was placed and things like that. And unfortunately that happened, but it seems like her son is okay, which thank God.
Thank God. Thank God.
God, makes me queasy.
I know. Just thinking about it. Oh, I can't think about it.
Well, let's talk about happy things, because like we said, Halloween is right around the corner, and we want to wish everyone a very happy Halloween. We'd love to see everybody's photos. Brianna, I can't wait to see the photos of the kids next week too.
Yes, absolutely. And please leave us a comment. I would love to know what everyone is going to be this year, because that's always so fun.
Totally. Definitely let us know. All right. For much more Moms Like Us, make sure to check in every Wednesday on Us Weekly's YouTube channel. Keep commenting, keep subscribing, and Brianna and I will see you guys next week. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.